Most hairstylists cannot do natural hair, not because it's hard, but because they don't want to learn it. In today's video, I'm showing you exactly what real natural hair care looks like, from removing an old sew-in to detangling, cleansing, treating, and protecting the hair the right way. Hey girlfriends, and welcome back to Coconuts, home of the Long Hair Society. If you are not a member of the Long Hair Society yet, girl, what is you doing? It's about to be 2026. You don't want no edges? You don't want no long hair? You better get you some long hair before they run out. Unless looking like a naked mole rat is your thing. It might be your thing. It ain't my thing, but it might be yours. Now you see what we got going on here. We are cutting out a sewing that's been in for some weeks now. And we're going to take it down and we're going to get the hair back right to put another one back in. Because that's what we do over here. We take a sew-in out, we put one right back in until we get to the person's goal. Now, I know some of y'all gonna look at her hair and be like, why she wearing weave if her hair is already long? First of all, because she can. Second of all, because what makes you think that this is long enough for her? This might be your long, but her long might be knee length. You see what I'm saying? So let her do what she got to do to get where she's trying to go. Now, after you cut out the extensions, you're left with the braids that was within the sewing. Now, you can't just take these braids down dry. I know some of y'all just going to go straight to unraveling these braids. But listen, we don't do that type of ghetto-ness no more. This is what we do. We get water. And then we put oil in it and condition the water. Then we spray the hair down. Then we use a detangler. And we're going to use the Main Magic Growth Sauce along with the Main Magic Elixir that you can get from coconuts.com. And we're going to use this to unravel her braids. We're going to try to keep as much hair on her head. Yes, we know there's going to be tons of shed hair, but we ain't trying to disrupt the healthy hair that's on her head by trying to take her hair out dry and by using a comb, because that's just madness. Now, because this is television, I already went and took some down, so I'm going to go ahead and take down the last few braids with you all. Now, as you're seeing, I'm going to saturate the braids down. I'm going to use my products to make sure I keep the hair on her head. Spray and saturate the braids down, and then you're going to take the Main Magic Growth Sauce, and then you're going to use this product all over the braids. Make sure you just rub it in. You ain't got to let it sit for long at all. These are natural products from the earth, so it's gonna work because God made it. I ain't had nothing to do with this. All I did was put it in a bottle and give it to y'all. That's it. That's all I did. So you're gonna make sure you get that all over the saturated braids. And now you're ready to start unraveling the braids gently. You're not using the comb to comb through each braid. You're just using the tail of the comb to unravel the braids. And then once you have it unraveled, then I'll show you how I finger detangle in sections. And y'all, one of my videos went viral, and this is the video right here. It was called Most Stylists Cannot Do Natural Hair. Now, I got so many comments on that video, so many likes, and so many views. I'm talking about over 100,000. The video was about me having a consultation with someone who has natural long hair. And she told me that she hasn't had great experiences visiting black hairstylists. Now, this is not to hit on black hairstylists because I'm one of them. But let's just say we talking about all hairstylists, because let's be real. White people can't really do our hair like that. And Asian people can't do our hair like that. Latino people can't really do our hair. We have some exceptions, but let's be honest. A lot of people can't do our hair. We can't even do our hair like that. So she was telling me when you go to see a black hairstylist and you have really long, thick hair, they're either trying to charge you more because you have longer hair and your hair is thicker. They're ripping through your hair because they don't know how to detangle your hair. They're trying to straighten it and silk press it just to get it manageable so they can run through your hair and get on to the next client. Or at the shampoo bowl, instead of shampooing your hair in sections or working with your hair in sections, they're just mangling it back up. And she says she is tired of it. She does not know why a lot of stylists, especially black stylists, are not taking the steps needed to really understand how to work with natural hair and not have to manipulate it and turn it into another race of hair just to work with it. Now, y'all don't come for me. This was her words. I'm just repeating what she said. But y'all gotta be honest. Y'all know where she coming from and y'all know what she talking about. Now, I never used to be the stylist that would do what I'm doing right now. I have been doing hair for over a decade, pushing on 2, and I did not know how to care for natural hair. Like, for example, what I'm doing right now. You see me unravel the braids. Well, I didn't comb through the braids yet, and I didn't even start detangling the braids. What I did is get her hair into sections, and now I'm going to detangle her hair. I'm going to use that conditioned water that I showed you how to mix with that main magic elixir, and I'm going to spray down the section, making sure I get that buildup, making sure I get in between her hair, making sure I get the ends, the mid shaft, the roots, just making sure that her hair is thoroughly saturated until I see her hair shrinking up. That's when I know her hair started eating the water, because hair only eats water. Yeah, once I do all of that, then I take my main magic growth sauce, which is the detangler, and then I put it all over her hair. And then I start to finger detangle her hair and get out all the shed hair that she shed during those weeks with her sewing. I don't use a comb during this process at all, because I'm going to use a comb and a detangler after I shampoo her hair. So I'm not going to be combing through this lady hair before the shampoo, after the style. That's just too much damn combing. This is supposed to be low manipulation techniques to help her get to long, thick hair. So I can't be using a comb the whole time ripping out somebody's hair. But I had to learn this. I ain't wake up like this. Baby, I was tearing people's hair out left and right back in the days, because I ain't know no better. I was tearing my own hair out. I had to want long, thick hair for myself. I had to want to have a good experience with my natural hair myself. I had to learn how to love my own natural hair. And once I went on that journey, it taught me how to love on other people's hair as well and respect natural hair. And part of loving natural hair is understanding it. So I had to understand how natural hair works. I had to do the research. I had to watch videos. I had to read books. I had to do trial and error and play in people's head until I got it down packed. And once I got this technique and methods down packed, I realized natural hair is easy. So it's not that hairstylists cannot do natural hair. They just don't want to. They just don't want to do it because they feel like it's a lot of work. And I ain't even gonna say they feel like it. It is. It's some work. It's a learning curve. But once you learn it, you know how to work with it. But it's very rewarding because I know how to work with natural hair now. You can't tell me nothing. I could work on anybody's hair in the world. Because I done grew hundreds of natural hair, I can grow anybody's hair in the world. I don't care. Line them up. I will grow it. I will help retain length, make it thicker, make it softer. I know how to do it because I work with natural hair and because I respect natural hair and because I love natural hair, which pushed me to understand it. So I just got finished doing the first finger detangling, and I call this the prep. This ain't even a real finger detangling. This is just to make sure I get most of the shed hair out before I shampoo and get her hair in sections. Right now I'm using a scalp scrub on her scalp while I'm finger detangling the ends and the mid shaft, getting it sectioned. For the shampoo process, when you have a lot of hair, try to put the hair into sections when you're shampooing, when you're conditioning, and when you're doing the mask. This is just going to make it a lot easier, especially if you just remove the protective style, because if you try to go ahead and shampoo it, it's going to tangle right back up because your hair has literally been hugged up for weeks. So you definitely want to work in section, shampoo in section, condition in section. Just trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking from experience because I done mangled up somebody's hair and yeah, it wasn't pretty. Okay, so her scalp is all nice and clean, hair clean, face clean, body tea. Before I blow dry, I'm using my deep nourishing oil from Main Magic Products. You can find it at coconuts.com. It's 100% all natural and it's formulated to protect your hair and feed it at the same time. It got jojoba oil. It is the closest oil to your scalp's natural sebum, so you know that's good. It's going to soften the cuticle, reduce breakage, and keep that moisture sealed in while I use that heat. It also has baobab oil, which is rich in vitamins A, D, and E, and F. So So while it protects against heat, it also strengthens brittle ends and improve elasticity. That baobab oil is going to help you get that long-lasting growth without that snapping and shedding. With lemon oil and ylang ylang in its ingredients as well, it's going to help balance the scalp, reduce dryness, and give your hair that lightweight shine without weighing it down. Don't forget the lavender that's up inside of here. And it's not just for the smell. This oil is going to make your hair soft, protected, and ready for a gentle blow dry without all that harsh chemicals. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and started finger detangling. Now I'm using a raking motion with my fingers while I gently pull apart. Yes, you want to be gentle, but you want to be firm. You want to make sure you get those tangles out before you pull out that wide tooth comb. You need to focus on really trying to finger detangle the hair 80% before you bring out that wide tooth comb. Don't go straight into trying to detangle your hair with a comb or a brush. You got to feel for them tangles. While I'm using the wide tooth comb, I'm still finger detangling. Wherever I get stuck in the comb and I have to put in, you know, my elbow into it, that's when I know I gotta stop and I gotta finger detangle that section, because there's a knot up in there and I don't want to rip through that person's hair. So as you can see, I put that comb down and I put them fingers up and I try to find that knot and I try to get through that knot. If you use the comb, you can't feel it and you're gonna rip somebody's hair right from the scalp. Don't do that. Don't do that no more. You're going to have to do this method. Once I use the comb and I feel like I got it detangled, then I'll pull out a detangling brush just to make sure I get all shed hair out. You want to try to do this especially if you have long hair. If your hair is still short and still up by your earlobe, you don't need to do all this detangling. You don't need to do all of this. But if you know you got 16 inches or longer, you're gonna have to kind of pull out the comb, pull out a detangling brush, but only 1 to 4 times per year. Ain't no reason for you to be detangling your hair once a day, once a week. That's too much. Use protective styling. So the protective styling is not to protect your hair from the boogeyman. It's protect your hair from your hands. That's why we do protective styles. So you don't have to be doing your hair and combing your hair every day and combing out your hair. That's why we use protective styles. Now what you see I'm doing with the brush and the comb, I only do that a few times a year because she protective styles most of the year. And that's how we try to keep the hair on her head. Now, if you got a lot of shed hair in that wide tooth comb and in that brush, that's telling you that you didn't finger detangle enough, because you should have got the shed hair out while you was finger detangling, not while you was using a comb and using a brush. So yeah, that's how I use it to check myself. If I see too much hair in that brush and that comb, I ain't finger detangle good. Now, you can't rush this process. This is art, okay? I'm working on a masterpiece. It's gonna take all day. This is gonna take all day, maybe the next day too. But it's worth it. I always tell my clients, yeah, I might have you in my chair for 8 to 12 hours, but I'm going to give you 8 to 12 weeks at least. It's an even trade-off if you ask me. You can't cut corners during this process. You have to do all of this if you want to have long hair. Only use a blow dryer on low and try not to blow dry the ends too much. Just do a couple passes through the roots just so it can be more comfortable before you do the next protective style. Right now, I got her hair still in sections and I'm just going to braid it down and we're going to go ahead and prep for her next sewing. All right, y'all, that wraps up today's episode. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, you'll see me give her that much needed haircut she requested, braid her hair down, and install a full sewing so her natural hair can keep thriving under her protective style. If you're in South Florida and you want to book with me, my email is down below in the description. Natural hair is beautiful, and learning how to take care of it is a beautiful journey. Remember, long hair is your destiny and big hair is your birthright.